Space does strange things to the human mind. Put someone alone on a research outpost for long enough, surrounded by silence, static, and empty stars, and they'll start talking to the walls. Or to themselves. Or to anything that might remotely resemble company. I had been stationed on Relay Outpost K-9, a tiny communications platform orbiting the gas giant Relora. The outpost existed solely to maintain subspace lines between far-off colonies and the inner systems. It wasn't dangerous, but it was the kind of boredom that ate at you slowly. 12-hour shifts. Static-filled transmissions. Maintenance logs. Silence. So yes. Sometimes I talk to myself. A lot. I'd narrate my tasks. Complain about ration packs. Tell jokes no one laughed at. And discuss my fears. The ones I'd never admit to another human. It kept me sane. Or so I thought. It all changed on my 73rd day of isolation. This strange interference. The first sign that something was off came during a routine diagnostics check. One of the long-range receivers kept picking up unusual fluctuations. Not normal interference, something rhythmic, patterned, almost like speech. I leaned closer to the audio console. Huh. That's new. Static crackled, then pulsed again. Tap, tap. Pause. Tap. Tap, tap, tap. It repeated every few minutes. Probably a dust storm near the ionosphere, I muttered. But in my gut, it didn't feel like weather. It felt intentional. Still, I logged it and moved on. That night, after writing a few notes into my personal recorder, I started monologuing out loud again, mostly venting. About loneliness. About wanting a transfer. About missing real conversations. Stars, listen to me. I'm literally complaining to the ceiling now. And then it happened. A soft knock echoed through the room. I froze. The outpost had no visitors. No crew. No shuttle scheduled for weeks. The knock came again, more gentle this time. Against every instinct screaming at me not to, I turned toward the sound. That was the first time I saw her. The alien woman. She stood inside the airlock corridor, tall and slender, wearing something that looked like woven light rather than fabric. Her skin glowed faintly like moonlit water, bluish with shifting silver stripes that rippled whenever she moved. Her eyes were the most striking, bright, reflective, and curious. She smiled, as if amused by my shocked expression. My heart hammered. I stumbled backward, so fast I knocked over a datapad. She raised her hands calmly. Do not fear, human. Her voice was gentle, melodic even, but layered with an echo, like two tones speaking at once. How are you in here? I stammered. How did you get past the airlock? What are you? She tilted her head slightly. I am called Salira. And I heard you. Heard me? I whispered. Heard what? Salira's smile widened, amused yet kind. Everything. My stomach dropped. Everything? All my rambling? All my complaints? My fears? My private thoughts spoken aloud? Could you clarify everything? I asked weakly. She stepped closer. Not threatening, just curious, observant. You spoke often. To yourself. To this place. To the stars. Your voice carried. More than you knew. Her silver-striped skin pulsed lightly, like emotion made visible. And I listened. Middle, the reveal. I needed answers. My voice shook as I stepped closer. You're not human. That's obvious. Correct. You got inside the outpost without opening the airlock? Yes. How? She looked thoughtful, searching for a word. Phased. Phased through solid matter? Yes. I swallowed hard. So, you're some kind of energy being? She shook her head. No. My species is corporeal. but our bodies shift frequency when needed. Like quantum tunneling? I whispered, her eyes lit with delight. A simple description, but acceptable. She walked farther into the room, touching the table, examining the control screens. We dwell within the magnetic layers of Relora, hidden from those who search with eyes rather than with listening. So you've been here the whole time? She nodded. And you've been listening to me talk to myself? She nodded again, even more cheerfully. My face flushed. You could have said something sooner. Her expression softened, almost apologetic. At first, I listened only to learn. Your words were warm, different from the noise of your machines. And you spoke honestly, without fear. I rubbed my face, mortified. I wasn't trying to talk to an alien audience. I know, she said gently. That is why it mattered. Her tone carried no mockery, only sincerity. The pattern signals. I finally found my composure enough to ask. The signals we've been detecting, were those from you? Solira nodded. I attempted communication, but the machine translation was incomplete. So, you've been trying to reach out for weeks? Yes. And you phased inside when I finally said something interesting enough? She paused, then her markings flickered playfully. You were singing. I froze. Singing? Yes. Her voice shifted slightly higher, mimicking me perfectly. You sang. Stars above. Why am I stuck in this metal box? I covered my face. Oh no. Solira laughed softly, like chimes in a breeze. That was when I decided you were safe to approach. Because I sing badly? No. Because you were honest. She reached out, gently touching a panel, fascinated by the blinking lights. I wish to understand your loneliness. That sentence hit me harder than I expected. You felt that. We sense emotional resonance. Your outpost carried a great deal of it. She motioned toward the ceiling, and your voice, drifting into the magnetosphere, was full of longing. I sat down heavily. I wasn't trying to broadcast my feelings to aliens. You did, she said softly, and I heard. The purpose of her visit. We sat together at the central table, me still shaky, her glowing softly like bioluminescent coral. After several minutes, I asked the question forming in my mind. Why come to me? Why reveal yourself? She tapped lightly on the metallic surface, making the patterns on her arm shift.